The 69er Double Diner was a project that Silicon Mountain Productions worked on in the summer of 2008.
We were doing a ton of videos, a ton of improv projects, and there came a time during the summer where we wanted to do something that was more scripted.
And it was a show that we tried to make that mimicked a lot of the same scenarios and situations as in the show Mystery Science Theater 3000. And in that show, they riffed films, and then they would watch the movie and comment on it, with quirky little antics and things like that.
And we just struck up that idea that, hey, we maybe can do this.
I had done a similar project previously in high school called Nerd Alert, which was a riffing show with some friends of mine, so I already kind of knew a possible setup for it, so that's how we started filming that. And I think the project is impressive because the actual movie riffing part is completely improv.
Our improv, we are known for our improv. I mean, that's probably our best thing, which is funny because I hate doing it, but it's always tends to be our funniest part.
So there are a lot of jokes that happen, and some of them aren't that great, but for the ones that are really funny, they stand out even more because it's all just coming off the top of our heads.
I liked the in between, like the filming that was not riffing the movies. I really, not to say that I didn't enjoy that, but the specific part that I did like, or the other scenes, just totally complete random and our way of trying to get some kind of plot in there on our show.
Plus, and the whole point of that was the plot would be explained through a series of videos of myself, Daniel Feingold, and Zach as we experienced the scenario of Daniel Silicamano and Ian B. Famosa being kidnapped by their number one fan.
And I like how we tried to have continuity. I like how we tried to give it a timeline, in between the first and second season of TDSS. I think if, at least for that, you have to give us credit.
Because so many things in life were coming as obstacles for the show. Like, we had to change locations several times, and every time we had to come up with a new reason why we had changed locations in the show. So in addition to difficult improv for the actual movies, we also had to write ourselves out of corners because obstacles kept coming in the way of making the show run smoothly.
The name of the show is something that a lot of people never understood, and it actually had nothing to do with the show. The show is called originally called the Old 69er Double Diner, but we dropped the old part because it just didn't swing as well. But the name for the show became the 69er Double Diner, which was actually originally the name came from a stunt when Daniel and I attended the same high school.
It started just how everything else has with the drama club.
And one time someone had a skateboard at the school, and Daniel and I decided that we would invent a skateboard move that would, unlike any other, one that would top the rest.
And naturally, Ian and I, being the innovators that we are, got on the skateboard.
What it was Daniel laid down with his back on the skateboard.
He laid down his back on the skateboard
while I laid on top of him in the 69 position, and as I ate his crotch, we traveled down the road together.
He eating me eating him, rolling down the auditorium floor. A lot of bruises, a lot of rug burns, and the relation between the two, well, there is none, but that was where we came up with it.
And actually, just for a little more tidbit, the actual name 69er Double Diner wasn't just something we randomly came up with. It was actually from a very famous comedian, someone that a lot of people seem to like, and that is the hilarious blue-collar comedy tour act, Larry the Cable Guy, who invented the line, "Wine 'em, dine 'em, 69 'em." And I thought that was stupid and hilarious at the same time, so I couldn't remember the line when we were coming up with it. That would have been the name for it, but instead we just fixed it up a little bit, and it became the 69er Double Diner.
And is it a great name? Yes. Does it make any sense? No. Does it matter? You tell me.
Because of the length of each episode, we never really had a way of showcasing it. That's why no one ever really saw it.
And a lot of people, they throw the idea of watching the 69er Double Diner out the window because it's about an hour-long show. And that's, a long thing for people nowadays. Most shows, if they're over 10 minutes, people won't watch them.
But breaking it up into pieces for YouTube, we're hoping that'll be able to show, that'll be able to expose it to people.
You know, but you go on with it, and we had a good time doing it, and I think that's the most important part. It was something that we had fun with.
It's a favorite project of mine because I love Mystery Science Theater so much, and Mega 64, which is another big influence on the particular project. And I really enjoyed it because I love bad movies, and so it was fun to actually joke about them with other very talented comedians.
Also, we eat a lot of